Hey guys, welcome to, or welcome back to, Penguin's Garage. Made some progress on the old Taco Supreme here. I'm going to show you guys how we got to this point. Alright, so you guys just watched me weld this one out. I'm also going to do something from side to side here and tie it in. I'm probably just going to take a straight piece of plate, 45 it, and go from side to side on the front and the back. That way this thing gets the lateral strength that it's going to need as well, because this is going to be an extreme amount of force on this, which is why I did the 2x6. That, and this is what I had, so that played a big factor in it too. So here we are, guys. Let's say that's pretty lined up. It's binding up on the few spots that we did that, but I'm good with that. I'm going to leave that there till it cools down. And then we're going to do our gussets. So here's my new bracket. I'm probably not going to close this in. I don't feel the need to close this gap in. If I did close it in, I'd be too close to the nut there. I don't know. Maybe I will close it in. I haven't decided yet, but here's what it looks like. So that's what we're actually going to have. I think it's going to look pretty good. Looking at this now that I said I'm not going to, I think I'm going to close these in. I think it'll give it a much more finished look. Strength wise, it's probably going to help, but I think it'll just look way cleaner. Okay guys, we're going to get our 3D CAD drawing all loaded up in the system here. We now have a 2x6. Oh yeah. It's magnificent. So we know we need to be below this mount because this here is for the bed. So as long as we're even with or below that, we'll be just fine. There's our line. I'm going to shave a little bit off here so I can get it in a little further. Alright, that's below the mount now. We're there. We're all the way up here. So what I'm doing is I'm taking the load from right here and I'm putting a significant amount of stress. Now this is going to be a weak point. It is double boxed on the inside. So what I might end up doing is I might cut this off. I might make a plate to go right here to stiffen that up. But I don't know yet. We'll see what Brody has to say about that. Right now, I got a piece in front of me that I know I need to cut. So that's how we use cardboard aided design. So just like that, guys, here's our piece. There's the notch we need to make for the body mount. And we're going to use Andrew's saw to make me want one even more. Guys, my old way of doing that with the cutoff wheel, the plasma cutter, any number of things, makes that cut so much harder than that. Like, I don't mind cutting this because of that saw. I would have had to mark this all out. It would have been all wavy, cattywampus, wouldn't have been right. That's incredible. Alright guys, so there it is. We got our notch, and then I'll weld up either side, come across. One more thing we got to do. As much as I think these stock shock locations are great, I have a feeling they're not quite going to work good enough for what I want to do. So I'm going to take these off. I think the mount is just too heavy duty for what I need, so we're going to get rid of that. But yeah, the new piece is going to come over, and that's in the way, so gone. When you see your disc do that, it's time for it to go bye-bye. Here's a little trick Andrew taught me. These preferred disc guys, these things are no joke, but typically you can just take one. This guy's not finished, but a little bend, it's done. These preferred ones, these have all sorts of meshing in them so that they don't blow apart and get in the face like that. So strongly recommend this preferred stuff. Not a sponsor yet. Huh? You know, guys, a fresh cutting disc is like a new pair of underwear. It's not covered in shit, and they're just really nice to use. That one might be pushing it. So guys, there it is. I'm leaving a little gap here. It's perfectly fine. Got the load carried over. I'm going to weld, not the whole thing, but I'll probably weld 4 inches, 4 inches, 4 inches. In the beginning, I was kind of toying with the idea of doing that out of a tube, but I think this looks sick, and I want to keep that look. That is not releasing. A little bit of a defeated moment here. I just straightened this thing out with the torch. It was crowned. You saw me try it with the jack. That didn't work. So took out my friend Mr. Torch here, and I just heated up the top of this thing where I felt like it needed to be done. The whole process took maybe 5-10 minutes. I'm cooling it down now, and it's nice and straight. It's my first time trying this, so I'm really excited that it worked, and I was really excited to potentially show you guys something cool as I learned it. And then I realized the GoPro wasn't on, so right now I'm trying to refrain from putting the GoPro in the vise and slowly crushing it till every piece falls out of it, or something cool with the Bobcat. Like get the fork stuck under something, put a lot of tension on it, and then back up with it on there and just watch it go in the air. For right now, I'm going to refrain and I'm going to get back to working on the Tacoma. But now would be a good time to like and subscribe if you haven't. That way I feel better about this whole situation. So yeah, the heat took care of it. I'm sure there's tons of videos out there on it. Honestly, haven't watched any of them, and I probably should have. But I'm very happy with the way that this happened. So, moving on. A lot more stuff to contend with over here. We're going to have to take the filler neck move this stuff up, get that out of our way. Take our rock light out of the way for now. I don't think we're going to need that anytime soon. We got trailer hitch wiring, which I'm on the fence if I'm going to keep. I do kind of want to get a teardrop trailer down the road. We had the big fifth wheel. We've been there, done that. It's a lot. And I kind of want just a simple trailer. But we tried tenting. The dog tried to escape. So we're going to go back to a camper. But that's a story for another time. And yeah. So let's get some of this stuff out of our way. We'll start fitting the piece in. Then we'll mark it where it needs to be cut and modified and massaged. And whatever else it might need. Definitely going to make sure there's no little micro cracks in here while we're welding. We're also going to put the fire blanket there. Don't need any issues here. I got enough problems. Oh, it's beautiful. You're beautiful. Okay, let's start marking it. You guys, we had an issue with CAD. The system crashed. So these newfangled computers, I'm telling you. Well, there's our patterns. So let's go put this on the other thing. I don't know what point the GoPro died here. So we made our template. That's what it looks like on the truck. That's what we're trying to achieve. So kind of looks like, you know, a wiener maybe. But so I got my shape on the piece of metal that I'm going to cut. Let the fire up the plasma and get naughty with it. Voila! I'm gonna close this whole thing in, guys. I just don't know how. This is where my ADD starts really kicking in because I'm so focused on a bracket that honestly could be shortened up and work just fine. Or the simpler task, could have easily just ran my third link from right here up to where the lower control arm is up there. Done a track bar from right here down, would have been golden, but there's a lot of frame flex here and that's what I'm worried about. So this situation kind of puts all the tension from the axle wanting to do the whoop-de-whoop-de, puts it up here, transfers it to the double box frame, sorry, to the single box frame, and then does things. So is it going to snap right there? I don't know. We'll find out. But if it does, it'll make a hell of a video, right? And then that's when the frame gets cut off and we back half. Never mind. So yeah, that's why I'm doing what I'm doing. We're doing the bar test right now. So I'd say they're all lined up still. Okay, so I got a little piece in there. It's sitting flush. I left a gap on either side so I can weld it and it'll go in and lay flat. So did a couple little welds, gonna keep letting that thing cool. I don't want to rewarp this thing while we're doing that. Guys, there's, see what we're getting here. Starting to box this all in. That'll re-give us, I mean, I cut a lot of this out, so it's not going to be the most strength in the world, but it's going to be strength for sure. So I'm just kind of putting pieces together, getting somewhere. So we also have these frame plates. These are from Trail Gear. These are going to stiffen here, so my new gusset comes to here, and then these plates go all the way down to there. So I might try and figure out a way to tie them together, but I don't really think that's necessary. I think that everything that's going on here is going to be rawr. So while we are waiting for that stuff to cool down, we're going to be over here grinding away. Okay guys, so right here the fuel line comes through underneath the truck. So my bushing's gonna go here, and then the fuel line's actually in between it here. So if I ever break this, I'm fucked, but it is what it is, don't break, right? When I reinforced it, I got this plate here. Now I don't want to lose all that plate, so we're gonna drill a hole. Ooh la la. So now we have a little tunnel there, guys. Now we're going to use the, make it all pretty. And I still have a gusset here. Still have some strength. Moving on. So guys, to prevent warping, we're only going to do little sections at a time, just like we did in the front. Not going to film too much of this, but you know, little blast, little blast, little blast, little blast, let it cool, that kind of thing. So that's going to stop it from trying to pull. It's still going to pull a little bit. Really nothing you can do to fully prevent it. I can reheat the back side of it, maybe try and get it over, but it is going to be what it's going to be. So simultaneously, while we're doing the frame, we're doing this bracket as well. So now I just got that last little piece to put in there, and it needs to be curved. A couple different ways you can do this. You put a piece of metal in there and keep tapping it as it goes. You can take a piece of pipe that has the right inside diameter that matches it, put it in there. Or you can fill it with Bondo and then sand it nice and pretty so that it looks good. I'm going to take a piece of metal, put it in there, and then tap it through as I go. Beautiful little radius. Just did a fake helmet flip there. I don't know if you guys caught that. There it is in raw form. Now we'll grind it. You can see everything else is coming out pretty nice. I'm not going to put on the, I say I'm not going to, but I have a special grinder for this to get in here, smooth all that out. But I mean, this thing is way nicer than it needs to be for something you'll never see. But that's what I'm trying to do. So yeah, the backside, you can see we put some pieces together to get it. But this is what matters. This is all that matters. Guys, we threw paint where paint needed to be thrown. Mainly here on top of the gas tank. So we're gonna flip this bad boy over and drop it into the truck. And then we're going to start welding this in, leveling it back out, and then we'll weld in the side pieces that we have created here, and then we're going to be styling. Guys, here it is. It's the final bracket. Yes, I can get in here, I can smooth that all out better, but for all intents and purposes, what you're going to see, what you're never going to see, look at that radius, guys, come on. For something you're never going to see, look at that. Ugh. Well, that goes in here. That goes right there. And you'll never see that. So, yeah, let's let's button it up and final place it and hide it. Hide that niceness. Alright guys, I got the fan going because I'm trying to cool all this stuff down rather quickly. I'm at the point now where I can remove the fire blanket and then start trying to figure out links while I'm still welding this. Everything inside's welded, everything on the back is welded. I'm not going to gusset this yet because I'm getting too impatient and I want to get these links in. So, as of right now, this is coming off and we'll see what we got from that point. It's a whole new truck. Let me show you guys what we got. Pardon the angle, but that's what she looks like. And on the other side, we got her all burned in. This whole side's burned in. That's burned in. Everything's in line and ready. And then see, our fuel line's got plenty of clearance now. Doesn't touch anything. That's nice. So now what we're going to do is we're going to start trying to figure out this first link. Oh, I'm so excited, guys. It's link time. We're going to figure out our link end from here to here, and then I got to figure out how to notch it. So that's going to be fun too. In the front, we did a thinner diameter. Out here, I'm going to do the full-on 2-inch thick Bob's Your Uncle and get as thick as we can in there. So let's get this happening. Oh, I'm so excited. It's metal eraser time! Yeah. So guys, I got this cool new light from Mac Tools. It's supposed to be 1,000 lumens. 1,000 lumens. Magnetic and motion activated. Look at that. It's like daylight. So it's got this motion feature where if it doesn't sense motion, it turns itself off. And it works all the way around it. Like, we got the base of it and it's still, you guys can't see it anyways. Alright, so let's get this in there. Oh yeah, there she is. Alright, so I'm gonna tack weld. This is perfect here. Oh yeah, it's coming together. Alright guys, so now we have to figure out this guy here. Let's figure that out. That's linked. That's not what I wanted up there. That'll do, donkey. That'll do. Alright guys, so let's check our progress. Frame stiffeners are all in. Our new frame is in. Solid welding on both sides. Ooh. We have our new Y-link in. I gotta pull it out, gotta weld all this stuff up. I'm done for the night. Gotta do something down here. We're gonna gusset this a little bit better. I don't want that breaking, so like I was saying earlier, I think I might just do a quarter plate on there. We did discover a new issue. Don't have a lot of room here. We'll see what that equates to when we start cycling this thing. But on the other side over here, we have frame plate all installed, notched around. We have our bitchin' set up here. Let's take a look at that. What do you say, guys? Oh, look at that clearance. Yes. Yes, queen. That is beautimous. So that's all in. We have everything's all nice and welded, tied in. We are ready for coilovers. Sorry, none of those here. We are ready for ORIs, minus finishing this link up and seeing how she flexes. Alright guys, let's get this out of here, get it fixed up on the old jigger over there, and then get this welded up, get it gusseted, reinforced a little bit, put it back in. Oh, that is fucking heavy. I don't know why I wasn't expecting that. That was just a spot weld, guys. This is why I can't weld with these in there. I cooled it down real fast and it was just a bzz, bzz. So you gotta be real careful with those. Okay, so I did some more CAD and I whipped up a bracket. This fit right here. I started welding it. There's, you know, about 2-inch welds on there. Yeah, 2 inches all throughout this. Now I'm going to plate in here. So my plan for that is to make a flat plate that's going to go across, and I'll just notch it so it fits all the way around this pipe and really stiffens that up. Like, this is going to be whew, so strong. Okay guys, there she is in all of her ugliness. So guys, there she is. We flexed her out a bit and ran the laser. The laser stayed dead center of this the whole time. That's phenomenal. The way that it swings though, that pinion did get a little close to the fuel tank. This arm here got way too close to this. So I think we're going to be limiting up travel, but I need to figure out exactly how much up travel we have or need, because I don't have a ton there either. So I gotta fix this if I need more. I just don't know what I need or if I need, so I don't really want to start cutting until I know. As far as we go at this moment, I think I'm ready for Brody to come and show me how to do struts, and then have him help me square up this axle, make sure there were tits there. Guys, it's a new day on Project Chicago Supreme. So I dug out the tires, as you can see. So my plan today, put the tires on these, see where ride height's going to be, and then see where I have my up travel. That way I can place the axle at full stuff, which I do believe it's there right now. and then I can position and locate where my ORIs are going to go in the back, and we can start getting that tack welded into place. I'm hoping it all goes smoothly. I don't suspect any hiccups, but we're going to have to go up and down with the bed a whole bunch of times and some fun stuff like that, so let's see what we can get into. Oh! Well, look at these sexy bastards. Guys, so I bought these really cool brackets. These are for the lower, just going to sit on the axle. And, God, just take a minute and just, sorry. They don't fit. They're missing by a little bit. So, they don't fit up top either. So it's not like they're just over compressed. So what I'm going to do in an effort to save this is I'm going to rip it right down the center. I'm going to bevel it. I'm going to put it on here, bolt it in, spot weld it, take it out, weld it down, and then voila, we have a brand new bracket. I'm just going to use the metal stretcher and move on with it. So let's get that done now. But first, have you seen these? Oh, look at that. Ooh. Don't tell the wife, but I'm gonna bring these in. We're gonna sleep next to them tonight. Yep. Wow, we're gonna sleep next to them, I said. So now, we have ourselves a bracket that can be any width we want it. Look, I can make it that big or that big. It's gonna be a hell of a gap to fill with weld, but I'm up for the challenge. Ah, you fucking son of a bitch. Fucking scared the piss out of me. Bastard fuck. Get off there. Alright guys. So we're going to hammer that piece in there. That's going to hold us just a touch, just a sliver open. Now we're going to weld this all down and then flip it, weld the inside. And when I pull that out, she's going to be nice. Maybe. Probably not. Got one down, one to go. Oh no. No, no, no. No, no, no. Oh no. Uh-oh. Oh. Guys, I have an ORI. Not to be confused with a UTI. I already had one of those this year. Alright. That's what we're looking for right there, fellas. That's the one. Okay, now we gotta figure out how to make this happen. One thing we got to keep in mind with these ORIs, guys, is that the last inch that's in there is a bump stop. So I need to go an inch lower than where it is. So I need to keep that in mind. Try not to screw this up too bad. So bottom of heim, bottom of hole, we got 2 1/4. So I need to take off 3 1/4 in order to make this do what I want it to do. So that's going to put me down another inch. Okay guys, so there we go. We got one tower in. Now I'm going to use some cardboard, trace this design onto the other one. That way I can get it pretty damn close on the other side rather than having to guess at all this. So I'm 1.5 inches lower on this than this is. That gives me a 1/2 inch clearance if anything ever happens, like the internals blow up or something. I'm not just going to bottom out and rip things apart. So that should be more than enough because I needed 1 inch for the bump stops in this. And yeah, so that's going to be pretty sick. So now we're going to duplicate this over there. Guys, I did something stupid. Cut the finger off. I know how to fix that. Sort of. Guys, it's supposed to be this one's for you, Andrew. 8 1/4 plus a line. And by golly, we are right there. By golly. Yep. So we'll get this cleaned up. We'll grind this down so we can put the finger back into place while we're doing all that too. 'Cause I'm a dum-dum. It happens. There it is. No one will ever know. It's not like I'm putting this on the internet or anything stupid like that. Ooh, that's really good for it. That is so good. So other side is 82.6. Very achievable here. Okay. Aside from that, we need to take some measurements forward to backward here. 33 exactly. Is right there. There's 33. Okay. Now let's do the front mount here to the end of the T. 18 3/8. That is inaccurate. 5/8.
10, 11, 18.
18 is the number, yes. And then 5 of those 11.
What? The stores weren't as crazy as I thought they were going to be, so that was nice.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I went to Walmart actually.
Walmart?
Well, it's the only place that I know that sells bullseye barbecue sauce.
So you got a bullseye?
I got some bullseye.
Oh. Oh. So guys, that side 83.7. I got 83.8 right here. 82.6 over there. Oh, I lost a touch. 82.6 exactly. That's a girl. Taking it. And then this side here, not that it's going to be any different. 82 degrees. And we're 82.1. So that's done. One thing I didn't show you on the other side, guys, we had to use the porta power on this guy here because it wasn't quite wide enough. So we're going to spread the butt cheeks on this one, and then we're going to slip it right in. Now I got to figure out my next step, guys. I'm probably going to weld some of this in. That way I know there's no issues. Not fully burn it, but weld it in good enough. And then probably start lowering down the bed, because this is going to be full stuff. So I'm going to cut everything to where these axles are now. So we'll lower it down, we'll cut it, weld this in a little better, and then we'll come back, put the ORIs in, and see what you look like. You ever do something and then cringe yourself? So here's where we are. We now have ORI towers installed. We have the little chinguses down below installed. Everything's tacked. These are a little bit better than a tack. Look at that. I had to stop by the bank to get a roll for those dimes. Just kidding. And I'm gonna lower the bed down now. Start trying to figure out where I gotta cut it, mark it, pick it back up, lower it down, pick it up, lower it down. Bounce with it, rock with it, bounce with it. Just kidding. Alright, well, let's get that done before I start singing and dancing and ruin this channel. Before it even starts. So guys, the bed almost just fell. One strap completely came undone again, and I caught it, and then I look over and the GoPro's not on. So sorry you guys didn't get to see me almost getting flattened, but it happened. Okay guys, new day, same taco. We have to start making some cuts here. So what we're gonna end up doing is taking little nibbles at a time here. I kind of have an idea of where it's gonna end up, but I'm only gonna take a few notches at a time because I want to try and make this as tight as possible. We'll see how that goes. I'm usually pretty good at this, but now that I said that, we're gonna butcher it. So we're up against the bed already, and we're into the bed pretty heavy. So I'm going to square the bed up side to side, and then I'm going to run a chingus along the side here. As it gets down further, it's going to get wider. So I need to figure out where it's going to sit in correlation and go straight up at 0 degrees, make a mark, and then measure the top and fit it in there. It's not going to make sense right now, but it will make sense in the end. So I'll try and find the best camera view for you guys, and then, oh, that's going to be a good one right there. And then we'll start measuring, cutting, and drawing pictures. We got more cutting to do, guys. Alright guys, so we're getting there. We got another couple inches to go. We've been nibbling and munching and crunching and lowering and eating some crayons, and we got this poking through. It's now time. We're gonna have to do a little schnippity right here so we can just set it down and see where it's gonna lie. But we are getting super close. So let's nibble off a couple edges there and then see what we can do. And we have a dancing dog over here. What song you dancing to? Look at how her head doesn't move. Keep dancing. Alright, back to it. Alright guys, so to cut this little thing, we're going to use our trusty air saw. Ooh. Oh. Guys, it's simply amazing. It's just the most beautiful thing I've ever seen in my life. The bed is tilted up in the beginning here because there's a heat shield for where the exhaust used to be underneath the bed, and it's on our new cross member. I was able to get all but 2 of the bolts off, so when I pick the bed back up, we'll get it then. What we're going to do here is I'm going to cut it all the way up to this line. So I'm going to use a compass and follow the circumference of the tie-airdo all the way down, and that's how I'm going to trace out and cut for my wheel well. Here's the other side. God, look how fat she is. Hold on, guys. Just yep. Alright, well, that's pretty nice. She's a thick bitch. So gonna do the same thing here. Take the compass all the way around, cut my line. And yeah, that's what we're gonna do. So let's get that done next. Oh, what do you think? I think that's acceptable. I thought they were gonna stick up a heck of a lot further than that. This is 16s, guys. I'm putting 16 inches in this bitch. Oh yeah. So heck yeah. Got plenty of room for my bar to go across. I'm going to be drilling and tapping these with 4 bolts on each, both sides. put a plate up against it and then another bar going across with heims, so you can twist it and make it nice and tight. Let's get this fender cut. This is exciting. Okay guys, so you can see we taped off the areas we don't want tore up, because the air saw is going to beat it up pretty bad. I'm going to roll a tube in here that is pretty much going to weld directly to the body. It's going to give me strength, and it's going to give me a real badass look. So that's in the future. I have no idea when I'm going to do that. It's probably not going to be till after this is finished and going. It'll be a nice little weekend project and whatever else. But let's do this. Cut twice, measure none. Well, I'm happy. Ah, that worked out well. Who's happy? Alright guys, so at this particular point in time, we got a few final things to do. We got to pick it back up, take off that exhaust shield underneath. We got to weld on our shock towers, final weld our front lower control arm brackets. What else do we have here? We have some brake stuff to do back here and all that fun stuff, so we're gonna have the bed off for that. But I think yeah, just do some final welding, pick the bed up one more time, and that should be all we need to do there. So when it comes time for the brake lines and whatnot, I'm going to use a lot of the factory Ford stuff for the back, and then we'll integrate it to the Toyota stuff, and yeah, that'll be pretty sweet. But whole focus of what I'm doing right now is just trying to get this thing sitting under its own weight. I really don't care too much about the little petty stuff. I'll deal with that as I go, but I'm gonna cycle the suspension right now. This is as high as I'm gonna go over here. The other side, I'm just gonna drop it right to the ground. Take the wheel off, drop it, and see what this side looks like. See how far into that thing we get, because I need to know. So yeah, let's check it out. Guys, here's fully stuffed. That is full stuff. Let's look what the other side looks like. Oh my god. Guys, can you see that? I'm 6'1". Let's see how far down from the fender that is. So 16 and 16. 32 inches. So guys, that's 3 feet right there. 3 feet. That's insane. Alright, I'm loving this. We have no binding. About to push a jack stand out right there. Who cares? Some of you thought the jack stands would give up anyways. How we looking here? Oh, we are so good here. Alright. Yeah. Time for rotors, guys. Let's see how we are. Okay guys, so here's the part I need your help. I need anybody that's done this swap before to help me out with my emergency brake. Without completely reinventing the entire wheel, I don't honestly know how to link these guys together. Let me show you what we're working with. So the Super Duty uses a cable that goes from that hook back here, and that's this fella here. On the other end over there, it's just got a little piton, a little crimp on, a lot of cable. So what the Tacoma has is it has a couple little cables, and it's got a center pivot point, so when it pulls this side tight and then pulls it over, which in turn pulls this one tight. I don't know how to adapt this to those, and I can crimp this, I can do a couple other things. My initial thought is to have the cable coming over here, pop it up into here, have this cable come up into there, cut it where I need to, and then I can crimp the cables together. But I'm not really sure. I don't know if there's an aftermarket kit that I can just buy that's a little more robust than half-assing it together. Not really 100% sure. But being a manual transmission, I do need an e-brake. So if you guys have dealt with this before and know how to adapt a 10.5 Sterling to a Toyota emergency brake cable, or I mean pretty much anything, like I know these don't go in Mustangs, but you know, Mustangs have the pull handle, the old school ones, and anything else like that, please leave a little chingus down below or reach out to me on Instascam and let me know what you've done and how to go about doing this. For now, I'm gonna push these aside. Hopefully the little YouTube community that we're building here can come together and give me some solutions for this. But that's pretty much as far as I can go on the rear now. I'm gonna slap the tires on there just so that it looks sexy while I'm walking around. I'm gonna have a whole bunch of brake lines made up. I gotta deal with the portioning valve and get that out of there. So some more to do in the rear, but as far as right now goes, I'm done. And I'm gonna finish up the front of this truck. Once I get the front finished and start running brakes, then we'll come back to this and see what we got to do.